The role-playing game genre has always had a special place in my heart, which comes from its ability to immerse us in rich, interactive worlds, each filled with diverse locales, interesting characters, and challenging quests. As players, we take control of a character in that world and embark on epic adventures, battling monsters, solving puzzles, and collecting rewards such as gear, items, and experience to level up our characters. A role-playing game is defined as such, with most RPGs having a focal point of exploration and battling, finding secrets, and managing of resources. The Mario and Luigi series, created by Alpha Dream and being Nintendo's second RPG franchise after Paper Mario, perfectly embodies everything I adore about RPGs. The series is renowned for its captivating storytelling, playful humour, and amusing character scenarios, all of which have greatly influenced the RPGs I've played over the years. I first stumbled upon the series as a kid by chance with Mario & Luigi Partners in Time on DS, which introduced me to a different spin on a franchise I was already familiar with at that age. Then I followed the series all the way to Alpha Dream's shutdown. The first game in the series, Superstar Saga on Game Boy Advance, was eventually remade on the 3DS in 2017 with the title, excuse me for a moment, Mario & Luigi Superstar Saga plus Bowser's Minions. That's a mouthful to say in one breath. As someone who never played the original, I was finally able to play the game that started it all, with enhanced graphics, music, and a whole new side mode. I was immediately drawn into the charming world of the Bean Bean Kingdom and its colourful characters, and this prompted me to play through the entire series once again. In this edition of Talkative, I'd like to delve into my experience with the Superstar Saga remake and explore the different elements of the game that solidified as the start of my favourite RPG series to date. And despite the unfortunate shutdown of Alpha Dream and the uncertainty surrounding the future of the series, whether it be taken up by Nintendo itself or another developer, my love for the series will never end.
Are you sure about that?
What the fuck?
Let's go! Yo, yo! Yay! Yahoo! Yahoo! Ow, 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 ow! Yahoo! Ha!
Hmm?
Yeah!
In October 2017, an enhanced 3DS remake of the original Game Boy Advance title, as Mario & Luigi Superstar Saga plus Bowser's Minions, was released. This new version of the game features a number of significant updates and improvements that make it a completely new experience. The original game had received critical acclaim for it being inventive as a new entry, and a must-play among fans and critics of that time, going as far as to being referred to as one of the best Game Boy Advance games of its year. The remake received the same treatment, however the side mode Minion Quest was referred to as a harmless but shallow add-on, with the main adventure taking the spotlight throughout. The most noticeable change is the game's updated graphics, which give it a modern, polished look that is similar to later entries in the series. However, the original game's sprite work still holds its charm to this day, but the sprites in the remake are all 2D but worked in a way that makes it look 3D. Not only that, but the game's soundtrack has also been remastered by the legendary video game composer herself, Yoko Shimomura, who had worked on the original game as well as other titles such as Super Mario RPG and Kingdom Hearts. In addition to the audio-visual improvements, the game includes a number of gameplay updates that streamline the experience and make it accessible for new players. For example, cutscenes now have the option to be sped up to get players into the action more quickly, and field moves now automatically switch character positions to save time. The game also includes an easy mode that allows players to progress through the story more quickly if they so wish to. There are numerous other changes, but if I was to go through all of them, this would take forever to get through. One of the most exciting additions to the game is a new side mode titled Minion Quest: The Search for Bowser, although it's the story of this mode that shines better, as the gameplay tends to be a little repetitive. This mode lets players take control of Bowser's loyal minions and lead them on a quest to rescue their beloved leader. The story of this mode runs parallel to the main adventure and offers a new perspective on the events of the game while also introducing strategy battling, like implementing certain commands and experimentation with troop formations. So if strategy is your thing, that's a mode for you. Overall, the enhancements and additions in Mario & Luigi Superstar Saga plus Bowser's Minions, that is a mouthful. It makes it a must-play for fans of the series like myself, and newcomers alike. And there are even little references to other games peppered about in between releases of the original and the remake that are nice touches. The game manages to stay true to the charm and humour of the original release, while also introducing a number of exciting new features that make it a fresh and engaging experience. Superstar Saga starts off way differently than any other Mario game. Forget Bowser, it's actually a whole new villain this time who is the catalyst. An ambassador from the Bean Kingdom shows up with a gift that is actually a very sneaky trap. It turns out, the ambassador is a witch with a wicked plan, accompanied by her accomplice in disguise. She has her aide steal Princess Peach's voice, and they bail into the night sky, leaving the Mushroom Kingdom in utter chaos. Naturally, everyone freaks out. One of the many Toads runs to Mario's place, and catches him in the shower, to tell him that Peach needs help. As usual, Mario springs into action, throwing on his iconic outfit, and drags Luigi along for the ride by the clothesline. And poor Luigi is going to get picked on for the entire game, and this is just the first of many times that's going to happen. When the bros get to Peach's castle, they find Bowser trying to kidnap her, which is classic Bowser. Mario comes to a screeching halt and inadvertently propels Luigi into Bowser, who misconstrues this as a surprise attack, which leads to a scuffle with Mario that is actually the game's tutorial for the battle system. You learn how to battle with the turn-based combat where you attack and defend until someone wins. After Mario defeats Bowser, they are told that Peach's voice has been replaced with a potty mouth and the witch is long gone and has fled to the Bean Kingdom. And I definitely believe that the explosive language is just Peach swearing. Bowser is bummed because he wanted to kidnap Peach, but now she's basically a walking bomb. He decides to help Mario and Luigi out and lets them ride his Koopa Cruiser to the Bean Kingdom. This is actually the second time that Mario and Bowser have teamed up, the first being in Super Mario RPG. That's going to be a pain to repair. This is comparable to when Sonic and Eggman join forces. When things get really serious, even the biggest rivals have to work together. In Super Paper Mario, when Bowser teamed up with Mario and Peach, he just wanted to take over the world, but he actually started to like being on Team Mario. And even still, Mario still invites Bowser to go go-karting and golfing, and even the Mario parties. And, in Super Mario Galaxy, Bowser actually says that he couldn't have picked a better rival than Mario, so even though they fight all the time, there's still kind of an air of respect for each other. In the midst of flight, Mario and Luigi have their passport photos taken as they navigate to the top deck. However, the villains who absconded with Peach's voice, Cacklor and Forful, make their presence known. Forful endeavours to halt their progress with a fight but is promptly repelled, and in retaliation he destroys the airship, sending everyone hurtling into the borderland that separates the Mushroom and Bean Kingdoms. Now when you have a villain like Forful, and yes, Forful is a villain in his own right, play Bowser's Inside Story, I love how it differentiates him and Cackletta from Bowser. His speech patterns, his demeanor, and the fact that he invented the headgear that he uses to fly around. His speech. Here's an example.
I am the great Cackletta's most best pupil, who is named Forful. I am here, laughing at you. If you were giving us a chase to get your silly princess's voice, then you were idiots of foolishness.
I love Forful. Here's one of the reasons why I play the Mario & Luigi series in the first place. Crash landing in Stardust Fields, a nice looking area full of stars and random industrial barrels, Mario and Luigi find themselves at the border between the kingdoms. To cross, they have to prove their jumping skills in a minigame, which they can later replay for tougher challenges and better prizes. Once they are through, they eventually stumble upon a hilarious sight. Bowser is stuck upside down in a cannon. It turns out that the guard, named Tollstar, get it? Toll Star, is holding Bowser hostage until someone pays his toll of 100 coins. Mario and Luigi cough up the cash, but there's a problem. They paid in Mushroom Kingdom coins, which are basically worthless here. Tallstar then sends them off across Stardust Fields to find 100 Bean Bean coins. So the brothers set off to gather coins, battling enemies and hitting blocks along the way. During their travels, they meet the Starshade Bros, General and Sergeant Starshade. These guys are Toad soldiers moonlighting as rock stars. It's actually pretty funny. Despite their goofy looks, the Starshade Bros are actually valuable mentors. They teach Mario and Luigi cool new moves, such as how to climb cliffs and spin across huge gaps. Later on, our heroes bump into Starshade Bros again, and this time they learn some seriously powerful battle techniques. These moves are way more than just your average jump attacks, and they add a whole new layer of strategy to the fights. With their new skills and a pocket full of Bean Bean coins, Mario and Luigi are finally ready to rescue Bowser and continue their adventure. Once they hand over the money, Tallstar is a liar. He actually swindled them out of their money in time, never intending to release Bowser. Infuriated, and has no right to be, which is funny because scammers always act the victim, Tallstar turns hostile and goes for the brothers. A fierce battle with Mario and Luigi unleashing their newfound skills on the deceitful Spike later, it catches the attention of Sergeant Starshade, who popped out of a nearby star-shaped hatch, looking rather annoyed. He dismisses Tallstar and takes matters into his own hands. Lighting the fuse of the cannon, he propels Bowser into the distance, effectively ending his involvement for now. Which sucks because the Koopa King is a well-written character in this game, and I want to see him more, but I have a feeling he'll be back. With the bordering region now navigated, Mario and Luigi are now ready to move on to their next destination. Stardust Fields was actually a very interesting starting area that teaches the basics of movement, battling, and even introducing the battle mechanics that make not only this game, but the entire series memorable with the turn-based combat, which we'll get into the gameplay mechanics after the story. But the journey continues, offering fresh challenges and new encounters as they venture into the mountains of the Bean Bean Kingdom. Hoo Hoo Village rests at the base of the Hoo Hoo Mountains, the westernmost expanse of the kingdom. Upon their arrival, Mario and Luigi find themselves mistaken for the abductors of Prince Peasley by a trio of royal guards. This misunderstanding is quickly rectified when a bandaged Tallstar intervenes to clear the confusion. As they traverse the mountain's dwellings, they encounter Forful, who is bothering a soldier before noticing the two brothers. Seeking to impede their progress once again, Forful drops a rock statue that strangely resembles an angry figure with its arms folded in a gesture that seems to say,
You think breath shall not pass.
In their pursuit of the solution to shatter the rock, Mario and Luigi cross paths with the Hammerhead brothers. These skilled craftsmen offer the means to break the rock, yet they are unable to forge the hammers due to the fragility of the ordinary stone they were using. They require the rare and sturdy Hoo Hoo stones, which can be found at the summit of the Hoo Hoo Mountain. Following the guidance of the Hammerhead brothers, Mario and Luigi ascend the mountain, arriving at its peak. Here, they encounter a pterosaur-like creature named Blablanodon, perched upon a large egg. Blablanodon becomes irate when a Hoo Hoo stone is inadvertently disturbed, accusing the brothers of thievery. At that very moment, the egg Blablanodon was safeguarding hatches, revealing the emergence of the dragon Dragohoho. This fierce creature engages them in combat before being unveiled as none other than Prince Peasley himself. He had been transformed by Cackletta and Forful in their attempt to infiltrate Bean Bean Castle. Prince Peasley tells the brothers that their next move should be on Bean Bean Castle, fearing that Cackletta and Forful have already arrived. And he then proceeds to give Luigi a rose. And since Luigi was the one to receive it, that just caused a boom of fan art of Peasley x Luigi. Thank you, Nintendo. With Blablanodon carrying Mario and Luigi back to Hoo Hoo Village, the urgency of their mission becomes evident. They must now hurry to Bean Bean Castle, armed with the newly acquired hammers from a Hoo Hoo stone that had conveniently fallen into the Hammerhead Brothers' workshop during the clash on the summit. Side note, their names are Sledge and Mallet, and those are types of hammers. and they're called the Hammerhead Brothers. And they make hammers, and they give hammers to Mario and Luigi. And they're both red and green. I'm sensing a theme here. Now with their gleaming new hammers, walking through Bean Bean Fields leads to an unexpected encounter. Of all things, a Goomba. This marks the start of the parallel narrative, Minion Quest: The Search for Bowser. This mode follows the minions on their endeavour to locate Bowser, which is a straightforward, albeit on the nose addition. Despite this side mode adding some more world building and tie-ins to the adventure, Mario and Luigi: The Quest to get Princess Peach's voice back is the main focus right now. Upon their initial arrival in the capital of the kingdom, everything's destroyed, for lack of a better term, which is actually the result of Cackletta and Forful's prior assault on the castle. In this lamentable state, only a solitary shop remains operational to meet the duo's shopping needs. And upon their approach to the castle, Luigi presents a rose gifted by Prince Peasley, which secures him an audience with Lady Lima, who then begs the brothers to remedy the castle's plumbing, which, okay, that's a sly nod to Mario and Luigi's plumbing profession, but being concerned about your castle's plumbing when, you know, the castle town is destroyed, the castle is under attack. Oh wait, it just turns out to be a ruse, because the castle's malfunctioning plumbing is actually the security mechanism guarding the Beanstar, which is the potent artifact of the Bean Bean Kingdom, akin to the Star Rod, or the Triforce. Once again, Cackletta emerges from the shadows, who had been, yet again, disguised as Lady Lima, but a bit more convincing this time. And she pilfers the Beanstar and releases a frenzied Queen Bean to assail the brothers. Queen Bean's grotesque transformation is a result of her ingestion of a belly black worm, which is a parasite that amplifies strength and induces madness in its host. After this revelation came from the real Lady Lima, she sends the brothers to Chuggaaconroy Woods. Their objective now is simple: procure the Chocola Reserve, which is a special soda, in order to restore Queen Bean to her true form and unravel all the mysteries at play. But there is one that I really need to know at this point. Where is Bowser? So the story so far has provided a unique twist on the formula. Peach is still technically the damsel in distress, but instead of being kidnapped, her voice is stolen by an evil witch. Now, this is a point in the story that has multiple connections to Minion Quest. In a cutscene early on, a Goomba sees Bowser flying off in the distance and is later found and captured by Forful, who plans to brainwash him and have him work himself to death. Wow, Nintendo. That's dark. Real dark. This is but one of many times where the story ties in with each other. Now back to Mario and Luigi, who find themselves at the Chateau de Chugglehook, which is a grand estate on the edge of the Chuggaaconroy Woods. They cross paths with a mischievous shadow thief, Popple. But the real surprise comes in the form of their usually fierce nemesis, Bowser. It appears he was blasted all the way from Stardust Fields, and eventually landed with Popple with a serious case of amnesia. This rookie, as he's now called, is a far cry from the Bowser we know. He's loyal, obedient, and even refers to Popple as boss. The ensuing battle against Popple is amazing, complete with an incredible musical score, and I've said it before, and I'll say it again, but Yoko Shimomura is a legend. Despite Bowser's unexpected assistance, Popple still manages to be beaten, hurling insults at his bumbling sidekick, including a bloated idiot jab, which references Bowser's hulking size and weight. That is rude. With Popple and Bowser out of the way, the brothers continue their search for the rare Chocola Reserve. Their investigation leads them deeper into the warehouse, where they discover Cork and Cask, who were trapped inside of a barrel. This quirky duo that mirror the bros' appearance with their red and green attire, just like with Starshade and Hammerhead bros before them, bestow upon them new hammer abilities crucial for their quest. Luigi learns to shrink Mario down with the Mini Mario technique, allowing him to access tight spaces, with Mario on the other hand, who gains the ability to dunk Luigi into the ground, to dig under fences and collect beans from suspicious marks in the ground. This recurring motif of learning unique moves from red and green duos reinforces the game's central theme of partnership and teamwork, and it's a clever way to weave gameplay mechanics into the narrative. And as an aside, there's actually a funny exploit that can occur here. By using a high jump with Mini Mario, and if Mario jumps as Luigi is over him, this happens. Poor Luigi. With their newfound skills, Mario and Luigi are finally prepared to delve into the depths of the woods and uncover the secrets of the Chocola Reserve. In the deep woods, they are introduced to Chuckleroot, who is essentially the great Deku Tree of this forest. In order to pass, Mario and Luigi must collect Chucklefruit and offer it to him. When they do, they gain access to Bubbles, the one who's been brewing and nurturing the Chocola Reserve for a long time. Popple Bowser, or Rookie, warn the bros that it's a trap, as the Choccolator is born from the barrel and immediately fights the pair. Sentient Soda. When the Choccolator is defeated, it turns back into just a regular soda. Bubbles is furious, blaming the bros for ruining his millennia of hard work. He causes the ground to break, sending Mario and the soda into the underground caverns below the woods. Mario lands in the soda, while Luigi navigates the underground and eventually joins back with Mario on the barrel carrying the soda to Bean Bean Castle via a waterway. Luigi then employs a rather disgusting technique to transfer the soda into Queen Bee's mouth, which restores her. And wow, not what I originally expected her to look like after, she was restored. Queen Bean then explains why Cackletta and Farfel want to awaken the Beanstar. Only Peach's voice can awaken it in order to grant wishes, which finally explains their actions. Peasley then arrives with news that Cackletta has taken Woohoo University as her stronghold and plans to awaken the Beanstar there. Queen Bean then asks the superstars of the Mushroom Kingdom to check the place out and stop Cackletta's evil plan. Upon arriving at the Who University, something is wrong. Its professors are fleeing, while some have transformed into monsters due to Cackletta's dark magic. After solving puzzles and putting the unfortunate souls out of their misery, the final showdown with Cackletta takes an unexpected turn, as the Peach Bots awaken the Beanstar, but it doesn't grant wishes as the legend goes. Instead, it goes berserk and falls into the basement. Annoyed by the brothers' timing, Cackletta battles them and immediately meets her demise. Short game. The threat's been expunged, the Beanstar is safe, and, well, no, it's not over. After Farfel and the now spirited Cackletta are expelled from the school, Mario and Luigi head into the basement in search of the Beanstar to bring it to safety. However, they encounter Popple and Bowser, Rookie, again, leading to another battle. After Popple and his Rookie are defeated, again, a Peach Bot clumsily drops down, which further infuriates the Beanstar, causing it to take flight. Fortunately though, everyone manages to grab onto it as it's flying, but they are eventually shaken off. During this chaos, Bowser regains his memory and then plunges downward once more. The Beanstar then shatters into 4 pieces, which later scatter across the kingdom. Now, Mario and Luigi get roped into a mess they had no reason to be, but as always, they're up for a challenge and teaming up with characters like Prince Peasley, who's a bit of a showboat to act as some sort of guide, though he's not as annoying as a certain Star Spirit. The plot's packed with funny moments up to this point, but things have now gotten serious. I love how when the serious parts get comedy mixed into it, like Cackletta is a dangerous villain, but is able to squeeze just a drop or two into her actions. Now the Beanstar shattering part? It's actually a total game changer. The bros manage to confront Cackletta and Farfel, but things don't go as planned. The Beanstar ending up shattering into 4 pieces and scattering across the land. So just when it seems like they might be getting closer to saving Peach and stopping Cackletta's plan, the quest becomes even more complicated. I like that about this game in particular, because if it ended at Woohoo University, that would just be around 6 to 7 hours of game time. And by RPG standards, it's a really short time. Now some may call the upcoming quest padding and backtracking garbage, but it's actually good to extend the game just a little more. And let's not forget that this is a remake of a 2003 game, and the first game in its series, which they do get longer with each game. At the Oho Oasis where they ended up, Mario and Luigi learn the Firebrand and Thunderhand abilities within the chambers of 2 ancient temples. They then crossed the seabed and arrived in the Eastern Fields, while we are given a glimpse of the recollected Bowser, who has yet again crashed into Stardust Fields and was knocked out. Again. Cackletta and Fawful reach him, and Cackletta's soul enters the unconscious Koopa King's body and begins to transform him. Oh boy, the foreshadowing. At the behest of Luigi's significant other, our superstar's next mission was to head to the airport. Why? Surprisingly, Princess Peach is on an incoming plane. However, an unexpected obstacle presented itself as an infestation of piranha plants posed a threat to her landing spot. They engaged in battle with the Mon Piranha, who had been planted on the runway and ensuring the safe landing of the aircraft. When the plane makes its landing and everyone is called to the castle, a startling revelation comes to light. It was not Princess Peach's voice that was stolen, but rather that of a Birdo, which was the reason why the Beanstar went into a frenzy and split apart. It was disclosed that the Beanish royal family had been very aware of Cackletta's plans, with Beasley managing to warn Princess Peach in time. Performing the ultimate dupe of the century, Peach and Toadsworth took cover behind a pillar, while the disguised Birdo stood in for the princess. Peach then confided that she had intended to inform Mario about the plan, but Bowser's interference had thwarted her efforts. After thwarting Cackletta's plans, curiously, Princess Peach expressed a desire to visit Little Fungi Town, a haven for immigrant toads residing in the Bean Bean Kingdom. One annoying escort mission later, the monster Trunkle appears at the end of their path and is promptly defeated as the princess arrives in the town. The bros explore the area and enter an arcade with the promised prize of an Invincishroom. This Invincishroom was actually a poison mushroom given by the minions in Minion Quest to a group of toads close to the town, and as Mario eats it, he falls sick. The very convenient doctor diagnoses Mario with bean fever. In a few days, he'll turn into a bean. But I don't believe that. He was poisoned. You can't bullshit me, game. That was clearly a poison mushroom. Do Mario, Luigi, or even the immigrant toads know what one of the most dangerous types of fungus looks like? Have the toads here lived in this kingdom for so long they simply forgot what a poison mushroom looked like? This irks me to no end. Anyway, the doctor prescribed Mario with crabgrass, which is a cure for Mario's condition, and Luigi volunteers, reluctantly, to go to Gafaha Ruins, where the grass is known to grow. After discovering that terrible monsters inhabit the area, Luigi is frightened out of his skin and is guided by the fortunate geometry of the town to Dr. Toadley, who is a hypnotist, which in the original was Psycho Kamek. Toadley hypnotizes Luigi into believing that he is Mario, his courageous brother, and heads to the ruins west of the Tihi Valley. Within, the monster that the rumors were spread about is stressed that people were thinking wrongly of him and asks Luigi to ease his woes by dodging his energy blasts, and then lets him pass to where the objective is. Luigi returns to the town with crabgrass in his pants, I know it's in the suitcase, and is unfortunately attacked. This causes him to snap out of the hypnotic state he was in, and Princess Peach is captured by Bowser. With boobs. God, not that one! This is Cackletta possessing Bowser's body in an attempt to take over yet again, calling herself Bowletta in this state. But there's no time to waste as Luigi rushes to his brother's side and cures him, and the next course of action needs to be decided. At Bean Bean Castle, it is then that Bowletta demands that the shards of the Beanstar be gathered up and given to her. Only then would the princess be released. Areas that the Beanstar pieces fell down are then approximated on the map, and the bros are yet again tasked with searching the Bean Bean Kingdom for them. The original objective was to get Peach's voice back, but it turns out that it was actually Birdo disguised as Peach, and Peach's voice was never stolen, and now the goal is to reassemble the Beanstar, which was broken up into 4 pieces. And as explained before, the story in this game is more in depth than the usual damsel in distress in Evil Monster King. This was, at least for Alpha Dream, one of the best stories the Mario RPG had, being on par with the predecessor, Super Mario RPG. The plot twist that Bowser being possessed by the big bad of the game was later utilized in the sequel, Partners in Time, and then a dark clone in Bowser's Inside Story. Yeah, Bowser is dealing with a lot of possession issues, and dark, evil clones of himself. God, imagine what would happen if he teamed up with a paper version of himself. And so the scavenger hunt begins for the Beanstar pieces. It takes the brothers back to Chuggaaconroy Woods where they must play a minigame arranged by the snail-like Winkles, and then fighting Popple solo. Yeah, turns out without a rookie, he's a bit of a pushover. And then to a theatre made for the Yoshis, where the bros must collect the neon eggs to replace the Beanstar piece as a decoration for the signage outside. And that was after Paisley was transfigured yet again, and eaten by a piranha bean. And can I just mention how cute Yoshis are? And also the references to later games in the series. Oh boy! And then a sunken cargo ship where they play a sliding minigame to match barrels aiming for a top score. And they removed the Donkey Kong cameo. What is it with remakes and genericizing everything? Is genericizing a word? Hey, is genericizing a word? I didn't mean both of you! Okay, apparently, genericize is a word. So, let's go with that. And then the next Beanstar piece is on top of a crab that desires to be a Christmas tree in the middle of summer. The same one that was on the sunken ship, by the way, that got washed away. Must be Australian. And then they must be fashion designers for the eccentric Ho-Hole who was using the Beanstar piece as a prize. During this, they meet the Jellyfish Sisters, Gigi and Mary, who give them massages and then teach them new moves based on their handbag. God game! I saw this coming a mile off when I saw their colours. Now Mario can burn Luigi's butt and make them both dash at high speeds, and Luigi can electrocute Mario to move side to side without turning to push Boo statues and move carefully between hazards. You know, my tone of voice when I mention that, oh god, it's another red and green duo, I like it. But I saw it coming a mile off. Once the pieces of the Beanstar are collected and put back together at the castle, Violetta sends a message, telling Mario to deliver the Beanstar to Joke's End, the graveyard of jokes gone bad, in exchange for the princess, at the edge of Oho Ocean. Paisley gives the bros a fake Beanstar to fool Violetta, but who's that going to fool? I'm just saying, that doesn't look convincing enough. At Joke's End, they are confronted by Jojora, a sprite-type creature who has taken residence in the Cold Palace, and warns them that the place is full of puzzles that will test the brothers' mettle. When they solve puzzles and listen to annoying music that's grating because it goes on and on and on, just imagine listening to this for 30 minutes straight, they eventually reach Jojora and her friend of the player's choosing, which doesn't actually matter. Luigi then gives Forful the fake Beanstar, who sees through the ruse and is then mad that the man in green took him for a fool, and then takes the real one. Luigi then has an idea. Toadsworth had given them Peach's spare dress back at the castle, and decides to cosplay as Peach, claiming to Violetta that the Peach that had been captured is a fake. The real Peach is then dropped and Luigi is captured in her place, giving Mario time to take the princess and flee. On the derelict but still operational Koopa Cruiser, Luigi's trick is seen through in a hilarious scene. Luigi goes through the Koopa Cruiser in reverse order from the first visit, stealing back the Beanstar and then plummeting down to Teehee Valley. And then he falls into quicksand. And then is captured by Popple. And the Birdo that was disguised as Peach. Mario saves Luigi from Popple and Birdo, and then that is the last we see of the Shadow Thief. Now begins the final chapter in the story. Upon returning to Bean Bean Castle Town, it's not over. Violetta has begun a last-ditch effort to destroy the Bean Bean Kingdom using Bowser's flying castle. In this plight, Prince Paisley rushes ahead and Lady Lima recommends the bros to find someone who can fly in order to reach the castle. This someone is Blablanadon on Hoo-Hoo Mountain. With Blablanadon, Mario and Luigi fly off to their arch-nemesis' commandeered stronghold. This part of the game definitely builds up the tension, with Bowletta taking over one of Bowser's castles and the brothers needing to act quickly in order to save the Bean Bean Kingdom. After everything that's happened in the game up to this point, the stakes are higher than ever, with the fate of an entire kingdom on the balance, and maybe beyond. This is also the point where certain things are now inaccessible. Some houses are now gone, so any blocks that you didn't get from those houses are now kaput, and you can't do certain side quests such as the beanstones or the beanlets, so make sure you do that before going to Joke's End. Because in one of my playthroughs before any Let's Play of the game, I accidentally, collected all the beanstones and the beanlets, and I decided, hey, I'm going to turn them in at the end of the game. Turns out that was a bad idea, and I was permanently locked from getting the reward. So do it before Joke's End. Please. I'm speaking from experience. Mario and Luigi infiltrate Bowletta's flying castle, facing a series of challenging obstacles and battles against formidable enemies. The castle is filled with tricky puzzles, including platforming segments and a range of powerful foes like Chump Guys and Magic Koopas. And each section is blocked off by one of the 7 Koopalings. And when I say Bowser's Castle is a test of everything that you've learned up to this point, every single move that you have learned is used in this gauntlet of puzzles, tricks, traps, and even battles. Some of the battles even have a timer. If you can't defeat the Koopaling in a certain amount of time, you're dead. So level up and strategize wisely. Anyway, the brothers work their way through, relying on their well-honed bros moves to defeat them all, and navigate the tricks, traps, and puzzles. And now, Fawful. After defeating all the Koopalings and solving the puzzles at Bowser's Castle, Fawful is the final encounter. Fawful attempts to stop them in an intense boss fight, hiding in his ship, and overheating, and what is that costume? After the bros defeat him, Luigi knocks him out of the castle, leaving the brothers to reach Bowletta's lair. There, they face off in a fierce battle against Bowletta herself, which leads to an unexpected twist as Bowletta tricks them into thinking that they won and suddenly swallows the brothers whole, forcing them to fight Cackleta's very soul within Bowser's body. This isn't Bowser's inside story yet. After a climactic battle that in the original was tough as balls, Cackleta is soundly defeated as her soul disintegrates and Bowser is returned back to normal. Prince Peaslee finally shows himself after leaving Bean Bean Castle and reveals that he's placed explosives in the castle that will detonate and destroy the entire structure. Yeah. It is now up to the brothers to escape and... poor Bowser. Again. The story concludes with the Mario Brothers, Princess Peach, Toadsworth, and Bowser, who is wrapped in present, flying back to their homelands after saying an emotional goodbye to their new friends. I do think that this is one of the better storytelling aspects of any other game in the franchise, since it does stray from the same old Peach being the damsel in distress and Bowser being the main villain. The comedy, the jokes, the places being named after different sounds of laughter, and the colourful characters make the world just feel lived in. And I cannot say enough how aesthetically pleasing everything is. Not just in the remake, but the original game as well. But the only gripe with the story I have: the Beanstar was useless. That brings us to the overworld. The world is divided into distinct regions, each with its own aesthetic and challenges, from the lush fields surrounding Bean Bean Castle, to the rocky Hoo Hoo Mountain, and then to the snowbound Joke's End. Along the way, players can find hidden items, coins, and beans, which can be used to upgrade the brothers' stats by brewing coffee in the Star Beans Cafe. So there are much more rewards for just finding stuff within the world. One thing that I don't like was on the cutting room floor of the original, there were cameos from different characters from different franchises in Nintendo, like Star Fox, Excitebike, Metroid, you name it. They should have brought that back for this remake. I will never forgive you, Nintendo or Alpha Dream. What am I saying? Alpha Dream is dead. Nintendo. Players are encouraged to revisit older areas with new abilities that they've acquired through the game to uncover previously inaccessible secrets, making the overworld both immersive and rewarding. And I like that about it. Keeping the controls simple and being able to access moves quicker is actually my favourite part of this remake. In the original game, I actually had trouble because you would need to manually switch character positions before selecting the move that is required. The remake makes it more streamlined, and I like that about it, as when I had to play through the original game, I often found myself selecting the wrong move, wasting time, and being a little frustrated by it. Not only that, the bottom screen of the 3DS is used as a move selector and a map, which makes navigation a breeze, since in the original, map signs were only in a few select screens, so if you got lost you'd be wandering for quite a while if you do not know the game. I'm looking at you, Jokes End, in particular. With the 3DS remake, another feature of the map is pins, which if you find something that requires an upgraded or a new move, you can place a pin on it and come back later when you have the necessary tools, which is a feature I've used in many games, such as Breath of the Wild and its sequel, to come back to later. The addition of the collection in the suitcase menu in this remake also allows you to keep track of beans and blocks that you have collected as well. So if you think you're missing something, you can just give the collection a quick look and be on your way. And it is time for the main meat and potatoes of any RPG. Battling. It's not just some sleepy turn-based affair where you just watch numbers fly around after simply selecting a move. Nope, this game just throws you right into the action, demanding reflexes and impeccable timing. So forget passively selecting attacks and waiting for the results like in Final Fantasy. Here you're just pulling the strings of Mario and Luigi's every move. Every jump, every hammer swing, and every bros attack has action commands to deal more damage. Nail the timing and you'll just unleash even more pain on those enemies and bosses. But the real beauty of battling, especially in this series and this game, is the bros attacks. These allow the brothers to combine their abilities for more powerful attacks, which require precise inputs for maximum damage. These use bros points that you need to be very careful about spending, as just like flower points in Paper Mario games of old, and mana in other RPGs, using bros attacks are heavy on resources, so you need to be careful of when and where you're using them if you don't have the BP restoring items necessary. Defense is actually equally as interactive, with players able to dodge or counter enemy attacks through timed button presses, which adds an extra layer to the traditional RPG formula. Superstar Saga throws out the title guard button, or just letting enemies damage you, and replaces it with a dynamic system that rewards quick thinking and sharp reflexes. There's a Goomba charging at you? Leap over it with a perfectly timed jump. Massive ice ball that you can't jump over? Whack it away with a well-timed hammer swing. Every enemy attack also has their own tells on who they're targeting and must either be jumped over or whacked away. Failure to do so will just result in taking damage. Superstars combat is also about strategy, demanding you to pay attention to your opponents and adapt your approach. Some enemies are vulnerable to specific bros attacks, while others can be healed by some elemental attacks. The game constantly throws challenges your way, forcing you to experiment with different strategies and master the unique timing of each move and dodging. It's a constant learning process, but the satisfaction of overcoming a tough opponent is just so sweet. When you defeat an enemy, you get coins and experience. Earn enough experience, you level up, which allows Mario and Luigi to grow stronger. The stats you can also choose to upgrade with bonus points: HP, BP, power, defense, speed, and stash. HP is your health, BP is the bros points so that you can use bros attacks, power is how much damage that you deal, defense is less damage that you take, speed determines who goes first, Mario, Luigi, or the enemy, stash increases your chances of lucky hits, and also increases discounts at shops for buying and selling. The gear that you can collect in this game is also a way to increase these stats, and also get bonus effects such as burn, dizzy, and other status effects like that. In a nutshell, Superstar Saga's battle system is actually a masterpiece of game design. It's fast, fluid, and ridiculously fun. And if you're looking for a game that'll test your skills, keep you on the edge of your seat, and leave you satisfied, this is a real deal. I mean, just look at how bosses just explode when you defeat them. To close things out, Superstar Saga shines with its engaging storytelling, well-crafted characters, and interactive gameplay. The mix of humor, inventive mechanics, and creative world building makes it one of the standout entries in the Mario RPGs, and it actually sets the stage for future adventures in the Mario and Luigi series. And with being a remake, Superstar Saga plus Bowser's Minions is a great way to experience the game with amazing graphics, new music, or even playing the side mode. But with Minion Quest, you can just watch the cutscenes on YouTube if you don't want to watch a movie of battles that are less engaging than watching paint dry and only intervening when you need to paint a fresh coat. And despite that, I do believe that it's definitely the definitive version of the adventure. And fuck yes, the series got a revival, Mario and Luigi is not dead, we got remakes of Super Mario RPG, and the best Paper Mario game in the series. We're in a Mario RPG renaissance, people! Now, this video essay took a long time to make due to the hiatuses in its accompanying Let's Play, recording issues, and the announcements of many RPGs being brought back into the light. The future of RPGs in the Mario universe is actually looking very bright. Now, thank you for watching and listening to me ramble on about the game that started my obsession with a series that I was late coming to. Partners in Time sparked interest, Superstar Saga sparked obsession. I just want to mention that these long-form videos are very fun to do, and I do plan on doing more in the future. In fact, I've got one that I'm writing the script for right now. And honestly, I want to keep them coming. Just as long as I don't have one in production at the same time as a Let's Play that it accompanies. So this was just me testing the waters of how I want to work on things, and doing a Let's Play while doing a video essay on the same thing. Yeah, not a good idea. And I mean, I could have used the old version of the Superstar Saga Remake Let's Play, but where was the fun in that? So, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, leave a like, and if you want to see more of my content, subscribe. And I'll see you again for another video essay in the future.